On June 11th of 2013, the front desk received an anonymous tip from an individual saying they were suspicious of a couple death-related incidents and an incident where a young woman was hospitalized and was also feared that she was going to pass away. This caller gave the name of the Stouty family. He was suspicious that the mother of the home, Diane Stouty, could have been involved in the deaths of her husband, her son, and now the grave illness of her daughter. I began to do some internet searches on the family, looking at social media accounts, just whatever was out there. I found out the Stouty family consisted of Diane, the mother. She was very active in church, and she also had been a nurse for a long time. Mark was a stay-at-home father, and they had 4 children. They had Sean, who was the oldest, Rachel, and then Sarah, and then they had a younger daughter as well. I also learned that a year earlier, Mark Stouty passed away at the age of 61 of an apparent heart attack. And then it was not long after when his son Sean, who was only 26 years of age, passed away. The medical examiner's office determined Sean's cause of death was sudden death and epilepsy. The timing of the incidents was strange, with all of them being so close together, and then with Sarah and Sean both being so young. I really wanted to find out what was going on in the Stouty home. Is it Stout?
Stouty.
Stouty? Okay. I appreciate you being willing to come down and speak with us. You're very helpful on your part.
I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
Don't know what I can tell you.
Well, okay. That's what we're going to try and get figured out. What about you and your husband, Mark? What was your guys' marriage like?
How can I say this? We were still married, but it was not what you call a good marriage.
Mm-hmm. Had there been infidelities on either side?
He had.
He had. Did Mark work at all?
No.
No, he didn't work?
No.
So what did he do then?
Played music.
Okay. So you were the breadwinner for the family. He didn't work, didn't bring home any money for you guys. And was there ever any physical abuse towards you?
No.
Nothing like that? No. Okay. I was trying to almost portray her as the victim, that maybe Mark was doing things that he should not be doing, and I could sympathize with her.
And when Mark died, it was actually a relief. I just don't tell people that.
Well, Diane, again, you're in here for a reason. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, is it bad if you argue with your kids and tell them, and I probably shouldn't have, it's like sometimes you'd be better off if you'd kill yourself. I'm a horrible mother.
I wouldn't say that. I think there's just a breaking point for everybody. We can only take so much. Now's your chance to tell us why, and to show some remorse and ask for forgiveness. So tell me about it, Diane.
I know Sean and Sarah were very close. They talked a lot together, and I know Sean, he did talk about killing himself too. Put it really short and sweet. I knew they were drinking antifreeze, and I was so mad at them, I didn't want to take them in. I delayed.
How'd you know they were drinking antifreeze, Diane?
They told me.
You knew, Diane, that they were drinking antifreeze because you were giving it to them.
And I didn't know what else to do. I really didn't.
Well, tell me about it, Diane. That's why I'm here to listen. Tell me about it, Diane. Tell me everything that was going on.
Just a lot of arguments. Both Sean and Sarah would just basically trash the house. They would do whatever they wanted to do and never helped support or even contribute.
And what were you putting it in?
Coca-Cola.
How much would you put in?
Just a little bit.
How much is a little bit?
A couple of teaspoons, maybe.
It was noted to me that out in the garage on a workbench that there was a bottle of antifreeze that was right next to a 6-pack of Coke. It's just set up right out in the garage, almost as if it's getting prepared for the next go-round. Then one of our crime scene investigators told me that I probably should respond to our evidence room. So I immediately went there and he showed me a diary that had been located in Diane's bedroom, but it appeared to be that of Rachel's. It was just another twist in the case that you thought there's no way there can be more.
Rachel, do you recognize this?
Yeah, I remember this.
What is that?
Little journal thing.
A journal thing? Whose journal?
Mine.
Inside the diary, there was an entry that was written long before the passing of both Mark and Sean, where Rachel indicated that she knew that both her father and brother were going to be passing away.
It says, "It's sad when I realize how my father will pass on in the next 2 months." What does that mean?
And when she looked at that, she turned white. It was almost as if she had seen a ghost.
Rachel, whose idea was this?
Mom brought it up, and then we discussed, but I remember her searching online, talking about different drinks that it could mix with. And you couldn't detect taste.
And by poisoning them, the intent was to kill them. Is that correct? Why did you guys want to kill them?
Dad was basically a drain on her, on us. He had no concept of money. Sean, I accepted that she wanted him gone, but I really didn't think he was necessary.
What about Sarah?
More or less, she wasn't going anywhere with her life, and that... Can't remember any other specific things, but just a general frustration and something needs to be done.
She was just very matter of fact, and the look on Rachel's face, it was extremely sinister, just void of emotion, and it was very eerie. During the court proceedings, there was a deal that was struck with Rachel that she would testify against her mother. The deal was essentially to give Rachel the possibility for parole after approximately 40 or so years in prison. Diane also ended up taking a plea deal. Diane's agreed sentence was that the death penalty would be taken off the table and that she would serve life in prison without the possibility of parole.